I hope you all had a wonderful week. Welcome to another episode of InfoScope. I'm your host, Hannah Kim. It's time to look at the latest news from the IT and science worlds. A multinational information firm, Thomson Reuters, has recently published a list of the world's 3,000 most influential scientific minds. This list was based on research citations made over the past decade in 21 different fields, and 19 Koreans were part of that elite group. Let's find out more about this and other stories in Briefing Scope. 19 Korean names were featured in the list of the world's most influential scientists published by Thomson Reuters IP and Science. Among the 19 included Hyun-taek Hwan, the director of the Institute for Basic Sciences Center for Nanoparticle Research, who was listed in the chemistry and material science fields. Korea's big data market expanded by 30% in 2015 compared to the previous year. It's worth more than $215 million. 1 out of every 10 corporations with annual revenues of more than $80 million were found to have implemented big data. British cosmologist Stephen Hawking said during a lecture held by BBC that humanity will face destruction due to man-made dangers such as nuclear weapons and genetically modified viruses. He also added that it is near certain a planet-wide disaster will take place in the next 1,000 or 10,000 years. New research has shown that high-fat, low-fiber diet can lead to poor sleep. 26 volunteers of healthy weight were given meals high in fiber and low in fat, followed by meals high in fat and low in fiber. It took the volunteers almost twice as long to fall asleep after having the high-fat meal. A lot of people celebrating Lunar New Year last week probably had a lot of oily foods. It would probably be best not to make that a daily habit, especially with all those leftovers. But speaking of Lunar New Year, here in Korea, getting a train ticket to your hometown is almost impossible right before a national holiday. Getting a ticket really depends on how promptly you start clicking away on your computers or smartphones at that exact time the tickets are made available online. However, what if I told you that you can't simply rely on the clock on your phones or computers? And what if I told you that the clock isn't accurate? Let's find out why on Industry Inside.
Before national holidays, online train tickets are sold out in mere seconds. Many people have no choice but to stand in long lines at the stations. One misclick during class registration and the student will find the class full already. In order to win in the so-called click war, what you need the most is an accurate clock. The problem is clocks on computers or smartphones are not as accurate as you think. When a smartphone is turned on or when a person makes a call, the phone synchronizes its clock with a base station. Subsequently, phones that aren't used a lot for making calls or phones that are charged while powered on show inaccurate time. Computers rely on internal systems for their clocks and are even more inaccurate as they don't synchronize their clocks with a base station. So which clock tells the most accurate time? It's the atomic clock, and the Korean Standard Time is based on the average of 9 cesium atomic clocks. 1 standard second is based on the frequency of radiation emitted by a cesium-113 atom when it undergoes electronic transition. Computer users can download a program called UCTK to synchronize their clock with one that loses only 1 second every 50 million years. Cigarettes are the cause of numerous diseases and cancer. 90% of lung cancer cases in men are due to smoking, and secondhand smoke is known to cause heart or breathing disorders. Now, research has shown that secondhand smoke can also affect pets. A team of researchers from the United Kingdom found that the higher the concentration of nicotine in a pet's fur, the more likely they are to face major health problems. Secondhand smoke can lead to a pileup of harmful substances in the body, leading to cell damage, and continuous cell damage can lead to weight problems and cancer.
해용적이 작고 면역력이 사람보다 현저히 낮은 반려동물에게 혈액으로 직접 흡수가 되었을 경우엔 세포 손상 내지는 그로 인한 세포 변이를 일으켜서 세포 증식이 되어서 그게 암을 유발하게 될 확률이 현저히 높다고 할 수 있습니다.
Cats in particular are more susceptible to the dangers of secondhand smoke as they groom themselves by licking their fur. Moreover, pets are also affected by third-hand smoke, as they often lie down on the floor or carpets, which are also exposed to cigarette residue. Researchers state that the amount of chemicals in just one cigarette can increase the nicotine index in pets and advise smokers to quit the habit for both their health and their pets. Artificial snow falls over the hill. When piled up, artificial snow is more compact than natural snow because it has a higher content of water. That's why artificial snow is suitable for winter sports.
날씨가 추우면 추울수록 더 설질이 좋은 눈을 만들 수가 있고요. 습도는 낮을수록 더 스키 타거나 썰매 타기에 좋은 설질의 눈을 얻을 수가 있습니다.
Special equipment is needed to make artificial snow. This piece of machinery has a nozzle that expends water and air at a fixed proportion and a nozzle that sprays water only. When air is released through a smaller nozzle, it experiences a sudden drop in volume and temperature. This cold air rapidly freezes the water particles, creating ice nuclei. Artificial snow is created as nearby water particles stick to these nuclei. Artificial snow made with pulp or wax is used when snow is needed in a snow-unfriendly area. The Korean blockbuster The Himalayas featured a combination of different types of artificial snow. Snow is the symbol of winter. However, with the help of science and technology, snow can be made anywhere, any time of the year. This elderly couple had always gotten along very well. However, the husband started to become aggressive a few years ago and began to physically abuse his wife. A psychiatric examination diagnosed the elderly man with frontotemporal dementia. Frontotemporal dementia is caused by degeneration of cells in the frontal and temporal lobes, which are associated with patience and behavior. Unlike Alzheimer's disease, cognitive capabilities are unaffected, but uncontrolled impulses and personality changes are noted as first symptoms. Patients suffering from frontotemporal dementia are on the rise, making up about 10% of all dementia patients. Experts say that elderly people who suddenly change and become angry at the smallest things or are unable to control their desires may be suffering from frontotemporal dementia. Medication can keep the disorder under control. Early detection and treatment can lead to a prevention of crimes committed by the elderly.
The next time I encounter an angry elder, I'm going to try to be even more patient and understanding, and I truly hope you all do the same as well. Now, moving on to the next part of our show, a person who repeatedly and involuntarily makes one sound is said to have transient tic disorder. And the causes of this disorder were unclear until now. A team of Korean researchers has solved this mystery, and now the question is, will there be a new form of treatment? We have the answer coming up here on Take a Peek.
Tic disorder is a condition where a person repeatedly makes a sound or moves a body part without realizing it. The symptoms appear temporarily in 1 to 2 out of every 10 children, but some continue into adulthood.
CT나 MRI를 찍었다고 해서 그 병변이 눈에 띄게 드러나거나 하지는 않습니다. 하지만은 여러 연구를 종합해 볼 때 뇌질환의 그 기전으로 기저핵이라는 운동에 관련된 부분에 도파민이라는 물질이 교란되어 나타내는 것이라고 생각을 하고 있고요.
The Korea Brain Research Institute has discovered the cause of vocal tic disorders. Researchers confirmed that vocal tic disorders arise when the alpha waves emitted by the nucleus accumbens is congruent with those associated with cognitive or motor issues.
In the Tourette brain, what happens is they increase or they become stronger than what you would see in the normal brain. And it's that increase relative to the background level that we think is driving the tics.
Researchers confirmed their theory of abnormalities in the nucleus accumbens by using monkeys as models.
현재 이렇게 신경망 중에서도 운동이 잘못된다거나 이렇게 음성이 잘못되는 것에 대해서 아직까지 치료법이 없는데 이 원인을 알았기 때문에 이제 그 뇌에 있는 심부를 정기적으로 자극을 해서 이런 것들을 치료를 할 수가 있도록.
This research can be used not only for treating tic disorders, but also for developing new surgical methods. Details were published in the global neurology journal, Neuron. Korean researchers have succeeded in coming up with a homegrown material for constructing airplanes or rockets by using cheap epoxy resin. A team of researchers from the Korea Institute of Advanced Composite Materials mixed graphene oxide with epoxy resin and created a new material that is strong and heat-resistant. The researchers placed a substance that could cross-link with epoxy on graphene oxide and increase the strength and heat tolerance of the substance. This new material can lighten the weight of aircraft, thereby reducing fuel consumption and carbon dioxide emissions. Moreover, until now, Korea had to import expensive epoxy materials from industrialized nations. This research was published in the journal Polymer Chemistry, which focuses on chemistry of synthetic and biological macromolecules. This unmanned module is part of the ExoMars space mission. The European Space Agency and the Russian Federal Space Agency are joining the United States in the exploration of Mars. This year marks one of the shortest distances between Earth and Mars, and the module is expected to reach Martian orbit this coming October. The module will attempt to gain a better understanding of methane gas present in the Martian atmosphere. Methane gas is associated with biological life.
This is very important because it is in the subsurface and at depth that we have the best chance of finding evidence for the possible past presence of life on Mars.
US-based NASA has its sights set on Jupiter, the largest planet of our solar system. Juno, which was launched in 2011 for Jupiter, is expected to enter orbit above Jupiter in July of this year. Unlike previous spacecraft, which merely passed by Jupiter, Juno will analyze the planet's atmosphere and search for water. The space probe Rosetta, which has been successfully tracking Comet 67P for the past couple of years, will retire in September of 2016. Let 2016 become another year of successful space missions.
I personally love learning about space missions because it's something I can't even imagine. But it looks like Mars and Jupiter are the main goals of space exploration this year. What are your personal goals for this year, and have you been keeping up with those New Year's resolutions? Keep yourselves accountable. Remember, it's only February. Now, this marks the end of today's episode, and we'll be back next week with more interesting and informative news from the IT and science world. Thank you for watching, and goodbye!